Godzilla, space aliens, and rejected affirmations. Oh my gosh. What in the heck? Pookie goes out of town and all heck breaks loose here on Sunday Inspiration Live. Well, my sense of experimentation is gone wild. Bob Gone Wild. That's like sounds like a spring break VHS video, doesn't it? Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Inspiration Live. I'm Bob Baker, and this is week 2 of 3 that Pookie is in Hawaii visiting her mom and her sister, and so I am. We're streaming live on Sunday. Or I am back on my channel here, and I'm continuing to experiment with the format. While mom's away, right? Keone, this might be the last week that he's able to sit in the Christmas sleigh. I don't know. How long can I get away with having him in the Christmas sleigh? But good morning, everyone. We're going to have some fun here today. Got a couple songs I'm going to play. I got some special sections. Some things I'm going to be sharing with you, a little out of the ordinary. We have a mystery guest who's going to be joining us in just a little while. Excited about that. And thanks for those of you who've shown up early in the live chat to say hi. I'll be checking in on you as we go along here. But since Pookie is absent, let's go ahead and play our normal opening theme song so we can hear her lovely voice. This was actually the verse and the chorus of a song called Wake Up. It's the lead off track on our Opening Up to the Good CD. So let's play that and get a little energy going, shall we? Let's do it.
Oh, when I wake up in the morning, I feel so grateful. When I wake up in the morning, I feel so alive. Is what I say. Wake up, I am so free. Wake up, and I'm free to be me. I'm free to be me. Yeah.
There's the voice of my wife, Pookie Lee there. It's become our kind of our theme song here on Sunday mornings. And for those of you who are fans, maybe subscribe to my affirmations channel and you like queuing up the normal affirmations. You come across this video, maybe it's suggested by YouTube, and you go, what is this? I didn't sign up for this. Have no fear. This is just something I'm throwing in every now and then, and you'll still get all the affirmations. So it kind of amazes me that more people unsubscribe from these live streams on Sunday than subscribe. And so I don't know what it is about them that they go, oh no, I can't handle this anymore. So I'm just going to think twice before you hit the unsubscribe button. I mean, I'm doing fine. It's 406,000 subscribers currently. So if you have to go, I bless you on your way, but stick around. So I got some pretty cool stuff coming up actually this week. There's going to be a money affirmations thing on tomorrow morning. And then, I'm really excited. I was going to tease you about this later, but I have a new affirmation song on gratitude. I was almost going to play part of it, but I wanted this kind of produced version of it to be heard for the first time when I'm going to be releasing probably Thursday morning a lyric video version of this brand new affirmation thing. The audio dropped as soon as the song started playing. I'm not sure. Is the audio back? Are you everybody hearing me all right? Lisa, let me know by text or whatever, or in the chat. Everything on my end seems to be coming through loud and clear. So, not sure what's going on there. All right. I'm going to start and end these live broadcasts with some affirmations, and I have 2 of them pulled up. We're going to do 2 sets of affirmations, but since this is an affirmations channel, I want to give you that because that's why you originally came here. So I got a set of affirmations here that will. Let's just go ahead and do these. I just pulled these up. Let's see here. There we go. Ready? I'm going to repeat them, leave a little space for you to repeat it back to yourself. Maybe I'll play a little bit of music in the background. Let's see here. There we go. All right, here we go. Repeat these after me. Let's just get in the mood. Let's set the stage for how we want to feel today and during this broadcast. Ready? Here we go. I am grateful for all the good in my life. I am worthy of happiness and joy. I get to choose the level of happiness I experience. I engage in activities that bring me joy. I receive joy and abundance in all areas of my life. I find joy in the present moment. I release all expectations and find happiness within. I am happy for no reason. There you go. There's some opening affirmations there to get us in that right mindset. Actually, I think "Happy for No Reason" is a book. I think it's by Marcy Shimoff. I think that's her name. And I can't say that I've read the book necessarily, but I love what the title represents. This is try to feel good without it being attached to some kind of external thing. I mean, quite often happiness and joy and those things, they come as a byproduct of an activity or pursuing something that you're passionate about, hanging out with somebody that you love, you care for, or just an interesting person. Walking in nature, spending time with your pet. There's so many ways that opportunities throughout our day that we can find reasons to be grateful and to feel joy and to be present in the beauty of life, because life is going to throw us curves. You're going to experience challenges. There's no way of getting out of this life without something coming up like that. So take advantage of those times when you can just sit there in the midst of peace, serenity, joy. Find it wherever you can. And creativity, like I said, and there's so many different ways. I just want to say hi to a number of folks who are in the chat here. I'll be checking in a little more in depth as we go. And by the way, yeah, I think Lisa, I'm sure, has probably posted that in there. But let me know where you're watching from, and especially if it's your first time catching a live broadcast on a Sunday, I would love to know that. We'll celebrate you. But we guys want to say hi to Jacqueline, of course, Lisa Shepard, the hostess with the head honcho of helpfulness, hostess with the mostest. Anna is here. Serenity Sunita from Singapore. Great to see you. Cherie from the St. Louis area is here. Nice live streams is appropriate. Not grateful to catch you live. I'm glad that you're here. We got DGSFA64, Deeann Angel. There's a name that sounds familiar. Regular on Sunday mornings. Carrie is here. Is it Nimal? It's in the house. We got Suwastana. I hope I'm pronouncing these right. We got Suha. CR. Oh my gosh, look at these. There's actually a number of names that I'm not familiar with. So if you're here for the first time, 212 Gemini 33. There you go. Dora Lee. Hi, good to see you. Michelle, Mary Lou. Left them some of those early. And of course, Crystal is in the house. Awesome sauce. And Diana from the Netherlands. Oh, very, very cool. I'm sad to say this because I would like to travel the world in Europe more than I have, and I intend to, but the only country in Europe that either Pookie and I have ever been to is the Netherlands. Yeah, and it's like 15 years ago, I was invited to speak at a music conference there, and we flew into Amsterdam, and then drove and took the train and, I don't know, various things to a city called Groningen, which I'm sure you're familiar with, which is north, and had a wonderful time and met the best people. I'm still in touch with some of the folks that I met there. Maybe I'll show some pictures from that trip. Hey there, I'm missing Pookie too. She's still got not quite two weeks. She'll be back a week from Friday, so that's close to 2 weeks. All right, so I'm glad that you're all here. Oh, so Bob's Comedy Corner is going to is going to be represented today in two different video sections. And so a while back, actually, when I celebrated 250,000 subscribers, like I said, I'm currently at 406,000, right? Wait, no, 406,000. I always want to add that 100,000. 406,000. But when I hit a milestone of 250,000, subscribers, I did this little tribute. I did a funny thing. It's called Funny Rejected Video Titles and Affirmations. And so it's like a 9 or 10 minute thing. So I'm going to break it up into two different parts. I'm going to play the first half of it now, and then I'll play the second half of it a little bit later. But you'll get the gist as soon as we watch this. So watch this video, then I'm going to come back and play an original song, and we'll continue on. Here we go. Enjoy this. 5 years ago is when I started dipping my toe into the affirmation waters here, and I did a lot of experimenting. You know, I tried different approaches, different themes. Early on, I was even trying like meditation music, and I was doing guided meditations. But the things that took off were the morning affirmations, and I figured out what the topics and titles were: abundance, gratitude, confidence. I've also done some health and relationship ones, but I've kind of figured out where my sweet spot is. So as you can imagine, I'm always brainstorming on, and people also send me suggestions of, oh, you should do a thing on this. And so I can't do them all. And luckily, I think it's really good that some of them have never seen the light of day, because they're just really bad ideas for... This first list is a list of 5 really bad titles, or actually rejected titles, ones I did not use, but actually within them are actually some pretty decent ideas. So here we go. Ready? So one of these titles I chose not to do is Affirmations to Help You Get More Swipe Rights on Tinder. Yeah, so actually, that could probably be very helpful for some people. But let's see. Again, these are. Did I make the point, Pookie, that these are rejected titles?
You did.
Okay, she's supposed to be my Ed McMahon, my Paul Schaefer to my David Letterman. How about that? The next rejected title is Affirmations That Will Wash Your Car and Clean Your House for You. Those would be very helpful. I think I need one of these. Thank you. Thank you very much. Affirmations that will make you allergic to watching the news.
That could be helpful.
I was going to say.
Right now, that could be very helpful.
I think so.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Affirmations to help you actually understand cryptocurrency and NFTs.
Well, I know what cryptocurrency is, but I don't even know what NFTs are. So that would probably be helpful too, Bob.
You may know what but you understand cryptocurrency. That's the whole thing. Understand what it is and how it works. Anyway.
Oh no, I don't.
Okay.
I don't. So that actually could probably.
Yeah. Affirmations that will help you. I got 2 more here in this round. I hope you're enjoying this. Affirmations to make you look 10 years younger at your high school reunion.
Oh my God.
You should have seen the ones of these that I did not go with. I had some on the list late last night. I said, no, I'm not going to do that one. Okay. And finally in this round, and this is, I think, very helpful here, is affirmations that miraculously turn cake and cookies into kale after you swallow them.
That's a little...
So our studio audience liked that one. Okay.
That's a little over the edge there.
Okay. I totally believe in the phrase that you should take your work seriously, but not take yourself too seriously. And so we're going to poke a little fun.
So I'm still trying to figure out if these were really titles that he entertained.
These are no.
He just made them up last night.
These are jokes. These are David Letterman jokey type things. All right. So the last time I did rejected titles, this particular list of 5 are alternate versions of existing titles that I had, like different ways of wording them. Maybe some of them are actually typos of existing. So these are alternate versions of existing titles on my channel that I chose not to do for good reason. Are you ready to laugh?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right,
now.
Here we go. First one is the top 10 most mediocre affirmations of all time. Not a very appealing title.
Yep, I don't think we're getting far with that one.
Yeah, so I went with something different. Oh, this one did not make it in either. A 7-day money infestation challenge. That's. I need one of these here. Thank you very much.
Infestation.
Oh. And this one is for really hardcore practitioners. Talked about having a regular practice. The 21-year meditation challenge. So you gotta be like a monk or dedicated to that. No, here's one that did not make it for good reason. The title was "Ignore Your Problems Using the Law of Distraction."
Oh my God!
That one I decided not to do. And then this one.
Remember what's being said here. These are jokes.
These are titles that did not make it in. And the final one on this list of 5 is "Start Your Day on the Left Foot." If nothing else, we're cracking ourselves up here. So let's segue into our. Okay, there you go. I wanted to play that, have a little bit of fun there. So I hope you enjoyed that. There's part two. It actually ramps up. Part two is even better, assuming you thought that was halfway. Okay, I'm gonna grab the guitar here and play an original song for you. Um, and actually, I'll tell you what. Sometimes I set this up with what the song, what it means to me. But maybe I'm going to ask you. Listen to the lyrics and let me know if what you think this song is about, or what's the theme here. Just pop those in the comments, and I'll check on them after I play it here. So here we go. But it's called "Find Your Way." Ready? I'm swimming in devotion. I'm living in the now. It's deeper than the ocean. It's like a wedding vow. It's much more than emotion. It's something I adore. It's like a love potion. And it's so much more. I may never find a way to explain this to you, so I hope you find your way too. I'm flying over mountains. It's like I'm in a dream. I'm drinking from a fountain. I'm floating downstream. If I ever find a way, I'll share this path with you, so you can come and feel it too. Oh, oh, it's much more than devotion. It's something I adore. It's like a love potion. And it's so much more. I may never find a way to explain this to you, so I hope you find your way too. So I hope you find your way too. So I hope you find your way too. There you go. It's an original song called "Find Your Way." So anyone want to pop in there? What that song was about? Kind of like descriptive, I don't know, lyrics, but it has a meaning for me. I'm not sure how clearly it's conveyed when you're just hearing it for the first time. Oh, Cherie says, "Oh boy, this might become my new favorite song. It just grabs me. Love it. Oh, thank you so much." I like the melody of that one. I've always been like attracted. My ear has always been like drawn to like what I call like crafty melodies. Like they're melodic, but they're unusual. They're not the typical pop song way that the notes go. So thank you for the nice compliment there, Sandra. Appreciate that. Maybe I'll start popping some of these up in here. Let's see. Where am I at on my list of fun things to do this morning? I appreciate that. Lisa says, "You will find your way through life." Woohoo, love it. Oh, you find your way through. Oh, I just realized there's an L missing there. Thank you, Chase. I appreciate that. That's a name I don't recognize here on Sunday morning. So welcome. If it's your first time, at least leaving a comment. I know a lot of times people will tune in, but they won't leave comments, and so, and just maybe it's because you're busy or your device doesn't allow it or whatever. Not that you're avoiding it or anything. My interpretation, Jennifer says, it's about feeling a vibration that connects you to joy, which can be unexplainable because everybody experiences things in a way that is right for them. So it's hard to explain. All right, yeah, you've pretty much nailed it there, Jennifer. Yeah, to me, that's a song about like if you've ever experienced something, whether it's I mean, it could be a physical thing. You like you go to the Grand Canyon or something, you experience something tangible, or you just have some kind of inner awakening. Um, during a meditation session or something, and you're trying to explain it to somebody, and words just aren't doing it justice. And you're going, I just hope that you get to experience this yourself. Whether it's something as simple as just loving yourself, or it could be love of a, I don't know, child, a pet, whatever, or just like going to visiting someplace or whatever. Maybe the person has never been, and trying to again communicate that, and words just don't do it justice. And so 5D Abundance says, "You're awesome, Bob. Never give up and always lift up others." All right, cool. For me, it is to be friendly and to give love to others and don't judge others. Okay, cool. Oh, cool. Over 2+ years enjoying your wake up. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I assume you meant affirmations as opposed to the song "Wake Up." Just but either one, I will take it. I'm gonna hang on there. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I'm gonna come back. So actually, leave comments there about like where you're watching from. Just anything you've ever wanted to articulate, anything you want to express, and I'm gonna highlight some of those comments after this next section. And I already like told you, I got all a little out of order here, but yeah, I'm really excited. Last week, I took a few days to record a new song. It's a new song. The topic is gratitude, and I've got a mix of it that I'm pretty happy with. We may go back and tweak it for a better produced version, but it sounded pretty good, I think, to my ears. Lisa and I've actually posted it in our High Vibe Tribe, which is our paid membership site, the High Vibe Tribe, and it's in there for those of you who are members, and some of you are here in the chat, that they get a chance to hear the produced version of it, the full song, and I'm going to do a lyric video that I'm planning on publishing Thursday morning. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what the response is to that. But I like the way that it turned out. It's very catchy. It's I've done acoustic versions of it in the past. Hang in there, Free Flow. Godzilla is coming. Actually, it's coming right now. That's a great segue. Hi, Beatrice. Good to see you here. From Croatia. We got just a global family here. It's amazing. I love it. And so yesterday, I recorded a video that I actually I've been using this platform called Substack. I use it to deliver my emails now, and it's really cool. A lot of bells and whistles, and I really love the way that it's set up and all that. It's a great platform. And I went live on Substack and recorded something where I shared something from my childhood that's very instrumental in my development. And there weren't a whole lot of people, since I'm kind of new. I mean, I just was kind of playing around, went live. And so I was able to download that and edit that video. And I'm going to play that edited version for you here. And it's called, How Godzilla and Space Aliens Shaped My Life. I thought that would be an attention getter. So I'm going to play that video now. Going to come in and check in on some comments here. And then we're going to have a mystery guest after that. So stay tuned. Lots of exciting stuff here on Sunday Inspiration Live. So here it is, Godzilla and Space Aliens and how they shaped my life. Enjoy this.
Well, hello, my friends. Bob Baker here. And in this live broadcast, I want to share with you an early experience that shaped my life. It had a profound experience on what was to come. So this is early experience I wanted to share. So when I was a kid, like even in early elementary school, grade school, whatever you call it, like in the third-ish grade, I started just writing these stories on my own. Remember I guess they still have those sheets of white paper with the blue lines. And I guess when you were in grade school, they were a little further spaced apart. And I would write these stories on two sides of one of those sheets. So they were short stories. And admittedly, these did not work great works of literature. Again, I was in the third or fourth grade. And I would write these things like they were things that I was watching, there were their little sci-fi aliens or Godzilla movie inspired things that I would write, these silly things, but still I was doing this on my own outside of schoolwork. This is stuff that I just did on my own at home without being asked to do this as part of an assignment or something. And I guess even though I was a really extremely shy kid, I would start sharing these with people. And a friend of mine who I went to grade school with told me the story that I have vague memories of, but apparently I was in class one day, like passing these around to another student, and the teacher saw me and said, "What are you doing there?" And she goes, "Stand up, Bob," or Mr. Baker, whatever she called me. And I don't clearly remember this, but my friend said that she made me read one of these stories to the class, or at least everybody became aware that I was writing these things. But the memory that really sticks out that was sort of life-changing that I've always looked back on and I've referenced a number of times over the years was when I was younger, I was a Cub Scout. There's the Boy Scouts, and then I guess when you're younger, there's the Cub Scouts, and you would meet at a leader's house. They would be called if there was a woman, it was the den mother. That was quite often one of the mothers that would lead these meetings. They would meet at their home. And so we were meeting at one of the den mothers' homes. And so all our boys are gathered around a table waiting for her to be ready to start meeting. And it was just sort of lull the conversation. Everybody's restless. And I pulled out this latest story and I said, "Hey, I wrote a new story." And I guess, like you said, at this point, the word had gotten around. I'd shared enough with them that they were aware of that. And I just remember all of these boys, these hands like reaching out to me and go, "I want to read it." I would like somebody, they all wanted to be the first to read it. So they had a single copy of it. It was handwritten. And I remember that something stuck in my young mind. And it's something I've looked back on many times over the years, that here was a group of people that were eager to read and consume something that I had created, something that started in my mind as an idea, just a creative idea that I took the time to write out in a form that then could be consumed by other people. Of course, I wasn't using these terms in third or fourth grade, and that there were people interested in reading it. And it just really struck me as, wow, that's really cool. An idea I had in my mind, I created it, and then I was able to share it with other people. And that's a theme that has just repeated itself over and over throughout my life. And so it's no wonder that years later, I started publishing like a local music newspaper, covered the local music scene. Another passion of mine I had pretty early on was music, and I combined those two things. And so, yeah, I was on a larger scale. I was publishing a print newspaper in my hometown of St. Louis that was distributed widely and read by a lot of people. So, and no wonder that led to me publishing books. There again, taking ideas that started in my head, creating a tangible version of them. Of course, now there's digital options, but still a version that people could read without me being physically present, to communicate it to them. And it's just happened. Now I'm doing YouTube videos and affirmations. And so that seed was planted early on that, wow, you can take an idea in your head, create a version of it that can be consumed by other people, and then spread it around. Of course, in grade school, I had that single copy of it that I had to pass around. But when I did the newspaper, then I had multiple copies of it that were distributed across my whole city. And then when I got online, and my early books, you may or may not know, were on the topic of music marketing. And I would write these like articles that I freely gave away to sort of give musicians little tips on a particular topic. And at the end of it, I would ask them to contact me to get on my email list I was building starting back in the mid-90s. And so this is just a reoccurring theme. So I want you to think about that. Like, how could you use this concept, taking an idea in your head, creating a version of it, content, videos, whatever, a podcast, so many options these days, But do you have early experiences like that shaped your life? Or maybe they didn't shape your life, but you think back on those things that you did when you were a kid. And have you been following that instinct or scratching that itch over the years? I'm curious. So leave a comment here. So I hope sharing the story with you sparked an idea in you that you can then take and share with other people. All right. Have an awesome day. This is Bob Baker saying so long for now.
All right. So there's my Godzilla space aliens story. So, yeah, I don't know. Every now and then I'll share some version of that, or a version of that story, but I kind of went into a little more depth about it. But it is, well, I still remember it all these years later and how it inspired it impacted my life moving forward. And so, do you have similar experiences? Can you trace back to something that happened when you were a kid that is still influencing what you're doing now? Not everybody can say that, or maybe there was something you did as a kid that you didn't pursue because you were going, the right path and going to school and raising a family and all that stuff. But maybe you think to yourself, man, maybe I should get back to that. I still think about doing that thing that lit me up when I was a child. So these are just things to think about. But it's interesting to look back and see the things that those pivotal moments that influenced the course of our lives. There were others that came along. Maybe I'll share on another broadcast. But yeah. Also, yeah, I do want to acknowledge that I don't know if you want to put your name in there, my dear, but our 2012. I know we've asked you this in the past, but I don't remember what your name is. But 2012 Gemini just lost her mom. Let's send her a lot of love. And so, yeah, I'm glad that if some of my affirmations will help you through that process, but allow yourself time to grieve. Yeah, in fact, yeah, it's probably going to come up here in another minute here, but yeah, I lost my mom, God, a long time ago, 35, almost 35 years ago. She was only 51. I was 29 when she passed away, and definitely, probably most. That's what, yeah. What this it was it definitely altered my life. But yeah. But and I use her memory to she was a great example of a great parent. And so even years later, when I had my daughter, her granddaughter, she never got to meet, her influence on me as a parent is still having an effect, and her encouragement of what I did. So embrace your memories, allow yourself to grieve, and let's just all send our friend some healing and energy. And anyone who's going through a tough time, and many of you, it's a part of life. And so there's a good chance that a good percentage of the people watching here or watching the replay are going through a challenge. So let's just send everybody a wave of healing vibrations and love. And so let's see here. Just check in on some comments, and then we have a mystery guest. So mystery guest, I know that you're listening. I'll give you the cue in a little bit to call in, but let's just check in some comments here first. But Lisa says, I have been dipping my toes in interests from my younger years that I had on the back burner. Cool. Cherie, who I know is a very creative person, she goes, yep, as a kid, I always drew pictures and wanted a camera like my mom's brownie. Ha! I have been a professional photographer for 48 years and love it. Isn't that something? Taking photos as a kid, and look, you're still doing that now. That's fabulous. There's Terry sending white light and love to all. Yeah, Crystal says that's why I restarted acting. Yeah, I know she's that's been a long time passion of Crystal's. Let's see here. Cherie says, will we become what we imagine? And again, a lot of people sending condolences to our friend 2012 Gemini 33. Love music. Is it love? Oh, Sandra earlier said something about her bucket list. Because you and Pookie are on my bucket list. I want to meet and hug both of you. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, we would love to create more opportunities for that. It's just finding an opportunity to have events that enough people can attend is that's the challenge or the trick. Certainly, if you're ever passing through St. Louis, let us give us some advance warning, and we'll do our best to meet up with you. And then I'm not sure what our travel plans are. It's might not be as heavy this year as in some recent years. Yeah, Lisa's going mystery guest. I wonder who that could be. All right, cool. So anyway, just keep leaving comments in there. And about either what I talked about or just anything that's on your mind, and I will be checking in. And so right now, I'm actually going to invite our mystery guest to call in, and let's see who it could be. This might be a regular feature, If you do a mystery guest and you might recognize them from the chat, you might recognize them, who knows, or you might not recognize them at all, but they'd just be a fun person to talk to. And so we might just have some special guests dial in and make it have that in there, I think a new section. But I don't think Pookie, I don't know if she knows that I'm doing this yet because she's been absorbed in her family out in Hawaii. But yeah, go ahead and click that link and call in. And here we go. Let's see what's going on here. Whoops. Hang on a sec. Whoops. There she is. Oh my gosh. Look who it is. I gotta put my name up there too. It's Deeann Angel. So you see that name in the chat pretty much most Sundays, right? Yeah.
Pretty
And
much every
and I'll clarify, Deeann is her first name. Angel is not her last name. Why is Angel in your profile name there? Deeann?
Angel is my 15-and-a-half-year-old feline companion.
It's your cat. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know Angel's very special to you. Yeah.
Yes, she is.
So Deeann, I gotta say, we've accumulated a lot of, certainly I reach a lot of people with my YouTube channel, and then we've been streaming live for over 4 years. And there's a lot of people that are regulars in the chat. There's a number of people that we've met, but I have to say, you probably are at or near the top of the list of the people of the list of people that have been like the most engaged with us. Like not only online and our programs, our High Vibe Tribe, but actually live events. So just to get people up to speed, in July, I believe, of 2022, Pookie and I had a live event in St. Louis. There were 12 people, I think, that ended up that you were one of the 12 people that came to that. And you live
sure
and let people know where home is for you.
In New York.
In New York,
like,
yeah, kind of close to the
Western New York. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So you had to travel here. And so we met you for the first time, had a great time. And then like a few months later, we had this, you back in October of that same year, you and Debbie and somebody else came back to St. Louis, and because you made friends here, and so you were visiting them. We had a barbecue, and so we saw you again. And then, you were like you've been a regular at my like online Zoom improv classes, so we stayed in touch that way. We had our High Vibe Tribe mini retreat in April of last year. You came to that. We met Casey, your significant other there, and so you have been intertwined with our lives, for for a lot. And so I really appreciate you. So it was great that we had Lisa as our first surprise guest because she's been working with us for a couple of years and people know and love her. And you made sense as being our next in line for me to share you with our audience so people could see and hear you. So
Thanks, Bob.
So here I have 2 questions for you, and then you have 2 questions for me, and then I have a final one at the end. This is how we're going to do this, all right? So
cool.
So let me ask you the first one for you is just let people know, like we talked about our history a little bit, but like I love the story of how you discovered my work and like the impact it had on your life. So what how this relationship started. So if you don't mind sharing that, go for it.
Not at all. So back in the fall of 2021, I was going through a really, really hard time with the pandemic. I had spent a lot of time by myself with my cat, and it really took a toll on me. In addition to that, earlier on in that year, I lost my mom. And I saw the comment here, and I'm so very sorry for your loss. And not only did I lose my mom, I lost my mom during the pandemic. So I couldn't get to her, and I had to watch her pass away on video chat, and it really messed me up. The third thing is that I had just gone through an extremely long-term abusive relationship that had just came to an end. So I was a total mess, and I was looking for some self-help, and that's how I came across your channel on YouTube, and I started listening to your affirmations, and I came across a video that had a phone number on it, and it said, if you want to receive a couple of messages a couple times a week, text this number. And I did, thinking, oh, that's just an automated thing. I'm going to get added to a list, and that's going to be the end of it. Lo and behold, I got an actual text message from Bob, and uh, we started talking. You started asking me to join improv. You invited me to join the January,
Like the turbocharge your life or something.
yes,
Yeah.
that you were doing that January. And I really, really felt like, wow, this guy is not just putting videos out there and looking for followers. You really made me feel like I was supported, and that is exactly what I needed at that time and still do.
Yeah.
um, and and uh, and it's been wonderful. It's changed my life dramatically. I've given you this accolade before multiple times, and it's very true that you served a very large purpose in my life in terms of keeping me alive.
Oh wow.
I got really depressed, and I got to the point where I didn't think that there was a way out.
Wow.
And you gave that to me. So
That's
thank you.
sweet. Yeah, I know you've shared this before, so I kind of knew, but I love hearing it. It's just a reminder of the of you just never know the lives that you're going to touch when you put stuff out there. When you follow that, like I said, with the silly Godzilla video, but it's feeling that instinct to take an idea and putting it out there and making it available. You just never know the impact it's going to have on people's lives. So thank you for sharing that, and I'm glad that you have yeah, your life has gotten a lot better over yeah, over the years. There are always ups and downs, but
For sure.
yeah, you're doing really well. You got Casey in your life, so that's wonderful. I'm really happy for you. I should
Thanks.
mention just really quick that text service that Deann is referencing. It's something that I started like over 3 years ago because I wanted another way to reach people. But I did bring it to an end recently, so it's no longer available. It just became as the numbers grew and the price of delivering that for free just got to be where it just wasn't feasible anymore to continue it. And so I'm encouraging everybody to move over to my email list on Substack, and those are there's so many other ways that we can stay in touch. So in case you're wondering, oh, I want to get on that, it's no longer the text list is not longer available. I have
Sorry,
another
I can't
question
help
for you.
giggling. I'm apologize. I'm
No,
listen, I'm
that's.
reading what Lisa just wrote.
Oh, I'm
She's
not
my
even.
sister from another mister.
I'm not even paying attention to the chat there. I'll have to look back. But so this is a little more lighthearted of a question. But thank you for sharing that because I know that's like that's very deep personal stuff. Yeah. So thank you for being vulnerable enough to share that. and yeah, I'm so glad that our paths crossed through that.
Me too.
It's
I love
so. So the other thing is, so you've been able to spend some quality time with Pookie and me, and I don't know how you're going to answer this, but what's something that you've learned about us, having seen us off of YouTube and in person many times now? You see me in silly Zoom, improv classes. What's something you've learned about us that many people might not know? And so I'm
Okay,
just
this is a two-part answer.
okay.
So, the first part is that a lot of people probably know this, but I don't know if a lot of people here know this, that both you and Pookie are always on the hunt to find new things to stay active.
Mhm.
So, actually, Bob and Pookie introduced me to cardio drumming.
All right.
And it was so much fun. And if you haven't tried it, I highly recommend. Another thing is pickleball.
Yeah.
I've started doing pickleball because of Bob and Pookie, which is also so much fun. And I just love that you guys, walk the walk and talk the talk.
Yeah.
You're about improving your life, not just like mentally or financially or business, but also physically. And I really love and appreciate that. Also, Bob is not a huge dancer. However, you can get him up line dancing.
Yeah.
He'll do that, and that is a blast.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I'm reluctant. I prefer to you hold that thought. I prefer to make the music that people dance to, and so I'm often a little hesitant. But when the mood strikes me, I'll get out there and shake it. Yeah. And I
yeah,
remember, and the pickleball and the cardio drumming. She's referring to some activities that we did when we were in Florida at the villages where we had our mini retreat. Pickleball is something that involves a big exercise ball and drumsticks and someone leading the choreography. And they don't. It's not a common thing in a lot of cities. But that it's a we always there's a particular teacher that we like to go to. That Deann came, Lisa came to one of them too, and then pickleball we played there as well, which pretty much everybody can do anywhere now. But thank you. But go ahead. I think you had another thing to add. Yeah.
so I am confident that nobody here knows this.
Oh no.
um, something happened to Bob, I think about a year ago. And that thing is that Bob lost his toenail.
I had no idea what you're gonna mention. Okay, I lost. Yeah.
Not only did he lose his toenail, they kept it in the car to show passengers while they were going places.
My God, that is so wild. Yeah. I, no one knows the toenail story. Yeah, that I didn't know you were going to bring that up. Yeah, I had banged my foot into something probably a couple of years ago or something, and this toenail got cracked. It didn't quite fall off, and there was like a new layer that was growing for the longest time, and it was barely hanging on. And I remember I had a Band-Aid on it, and I think I was in a pool down at the villages, and the band. Something came off where I had to get this Band-Aid with my toes out of the pool so it wouldn't gross anybody out. And I guess we did leave it in the car. The toenail, when it finally fell off, was in the car. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry you had to see that. So
I'll never forget it.
that's wow. I didn't even think about that, folks. I apologize for the the toenail incident.
You asked.
I got it's got Godzilla, space aliens, and toenails.
Oh my God.
That's all right. So
Okay.
that's great. So now you have two questions for me, and
Yes.
so give me the first one. There.
I actually think this is so poignant because neither one of us knew that this person was going to be in the chat today. And I apologize. I've forgotten your name, that you just lost your mom. So I don't know. I just feel like it was a little bit meant to be.
Yeah.
So I know that, like you explained earlier, you had your mom in your life for 31 years.
29. Yeah.
29 years when she passed, and you had a really good relationship with your mom, and she was a great support system for you. My question is, did you have a larger support system outside of your mom? Was that family, or was it external? And did you have to go find it, or did it come to you naturally?
Yeah.
What did that look like?
Sure. So I wasn't sure because we did exchange. We didn't want to surprise each other too much, so we shared what these questions would be. I'm probably going to be answering this mostly from maybe from the perspective of prior to her passing, because I so I grew up. My mom was my mom's only child. She was a single mom, and I think I might have mentioned in the past that she was the daughter of immigrants. Her dad came from Mexico City. Her mom was German. Her mom passed away like when she was like 2 or something, so she never knew her own mother, and her dad was not equipped to raise her. So my mom grew up in foster homes. I mean, she had kind of a rough life, and then she married my dad, but that was short lived, and left him before I turned 1, because she knew that wouldn't be a good environment to me. So she raised me as this woman with not a lot of means, and always she worked for nonprofits. She actually works for the Boy Scout headquarters here in St. Louis. I mentioned the Cub Scouts earlier in that video, but there's a headquarters here, and she was like the receptionist at there. And on one hand, it was a high-paying job, but everybody that came to that office knew her. Everybody that called in talked to her. Everybody that walked in for a meeting or whatever. And so at her visitation when she passed away, there were all these people that came because she was still pretty young. She had just worked like the previous week, you know. It wasn't like and so all these people, including some like executives and different people, were like that I never knew that she had connected with. The mailman who delivered the mail at her office came to her visitation because he saw her every day, you know, and wanted to pay his respects. And so that was an amazing experience. But I think you're asking me about like support system. So I did not have a very large family. I was estranged from my dad, and so I really didn't know that side of my family until years later. And so I had like a cousin that maybe I still am in touch with. So there wasn't really a lot of family to growing up, and so I had my friends. But one smart thing that my mom did was you've heard of the Big Brother. It's called Big Brothers Big Sisters now, but it was just Big Brothers back then. And she, as soon as I was old enough, in fact, she went and took me to the office and said, I want to sign my son up to get a Big Brother. And they go, how old is he? And it was like whatever she thought it was a year younger than it really was. Oh, he has to be at least 7 or whatever it was. And she goes, okay, I'll see you in a year. She came back the next year and signed me up as soon as, and I had maybe 3 different guys that were my big brothers, and the longest running one was the last one who was like through high school. I guess you get to 18 and you're no longer, you know. So that was like I had that was the male influence that I had in my life, and we did, you know, a lot of activities. So that was a really smart thing that was important for her to do for me. But as far as like entrepreneurial, like my mom was a pretty shy person, and I just had these innate desires to do things, a lot of them in the creative realm, you know. And so I had friends, like when I started playing music, I would jam with people, and that was like the first social glue that got me accepted maybe by different groups of people as the musician. And we start jamming at parties in the community center and all this in high school. So I was recognized as a musician, and that kind of started me coming out of my shell and being more of the extroverted person that I wanted to be. But a lot of this drive, I did not have role models or anyone necessarily mentoring me. Although I remember that big brother, this guy Ken, I remember he did encourage me. I'm trying to think of he supported my efforts, like when I was writing some early stuff that I was writing, and at the time it was another science fiction thing. He had like his secretary, that was the appropriate word at the time, like type up and mimeograph copies of this thing that I had written, you know. So he was really trying to. And he dabbled in acrylic painting. That was the first time when I was exposed to like visual art, and that's the first time I started painting was because of his influence. So there were people, I guess, that influenced me, but a lot of it was since I was an only child, I got to spend a lot of time on my own and just found ways to occupy my time, and I immersed it into the arts and music and the written word and art and different things. And so I don't know if that's the exact answer to the question. And then just, when my mom passed away, it rocked my world. And so I just had I did lean on, a girlfriend that I was with at the time and friends and just continuing to at the time I was, the early years of publishing a local music newspaper. So I was starting to get my feet wet as a local journalist, and I just poured myself into that and continued to do my stuff. But it was, those first couple of years, every time I accomplished something, like the first time, the 2.5 years after my mom passed is when my first book was published. And I remember holding that book in my hand. I wanted to call her. I wanted to go and share it with her, and she just wasn't, there physically. So I had to find other ways to connect with her, But we just, I just try to honor. I know she's aware of everything and is proud of me, and yeah. So I don't know. That's that's kind of my answer to your question there.
No, thank you so much. That was really insightful. That's like takes it a little bit deeper. It gives us a little bit more understanding of what your roots are. You know?
This is getting pretty deep here. You have one more is probably gonna be talking about some stuff that I rarely do. So go ahead and ask your next one, and then we'll lighten things up. We're gonna have a dance party and all this stuff. But this is an opportunity for you to maybe learn a little bit more about my what makes me tick, and where I come from.
Leave it to me to go deep.
I know, yeah.
My life, mental health is my passion, so
yeah,
that's where it goes.
So
So you just mentioned about, how it rocked your world, but my other question was, can you identify a life event that brought your life to a standing halt?
Mhm.
And what choices did you make to get back on track? And how did that affect or impact your mental health? And what did you do to maintain your
Yeah.
mental health during that
Cool,
process?
cool. And I'm glad, like I said, we had a chance to share these questions ahead of time, so I had a little chance to think about them. So yeah, so in 1996, I got married, and we and soon after my daughter was born, and so I was suddenly had a responsibility. And she and my wife at the time had like three kids already of her own that lived with this. And so I actually one nice thing about that was I did have a sense of family. There was like sitting around the kitchen table with family was something I never really experienced growing up, so that was kind of a cool thing. And then my daughter was born, but the marriage was short-lived, and by 1998, when my daughter was 2, I separated and quickly divorced from my now ex. And at that point, so that was definitely, there's always a life altering situation to go through a divorce, and just the negative energy in the house that I was good to get away from it, but it was coming out of like years, a year or so of just like really a lot of negativity. And I was financially struggling a great deal at that point, trying to find my way. And so I always often refer to that as like the low point of my adult life. So it was definitely like I was feeling defeated financially. That's always a strain. And then coming out, I got my own apartment and just trying to figure out. And so that was a kind of a dark time. But I just kind of I was focusing on. I had my daughter half the time, so I was just really unlike my dad. I was using my mom as a role model, and so I really poured myself into spending quality time with her when I had her half the time. I ended up getting a day job. A number of things happened that started to turn things around. I had to seek out a day job. I've always been more inclined to be self-employed, and so I was during those years of publishing my newspaper. But I sought out a job. At first, it was like at a bookstore, like a Borders or whatever. But then I got a job in the corporate world as a journalist. So I was in my realm I would internal communication. So I would write articles about company news, right, and interview people and all this. So I was using the skills that I had developed in a corporate environment. Totally, I knew that wasn't my final. I wasn't going to stay there. I was a little like a fish out of water in the corporate world. That's just not my style. But I managed to function. I did a good job. I made friends there, and so that income started to help me financially. I also got an advance for a book called "Branding Yourself Online" in 2000. And that book came out in 2021. And so all these things like started. I remember when I got that advance, it was a small amount, like $3,000 or something, or maybe less than that. But at the time, that got to the point where I could actually get caught up. I could pay my rent and my utilities. I was like I said, I was really kind of in the negative. I think I was paying off a student loan too. So finally, I was starting to get caught up. So I found like breath of fresh air. But I was spending time in the early days of the internet promoting my early books, and I was determined to be self-employed again, and I just chipped away at it. Nights and weekends, I would just get on the internet and spread my message. Then it was all about music marketing and helping independent musicians promote themselves. And 2004, I got to the point where I could put in my notice with my job because I was making enough money on that sideline to be self-employed, and I haven't looked back since. And so I just said, hey, you just gotta like chip away at it. And I was probably I remember I was doing a lot of affirmations, visualization, meditating. I was using all the tools that I was aware of. And so that's why I meditate. I mean, affirmations are not just something I decided to. Oh, this would be cool. It's just something I've used in my life, and I would affirm that the money's coming from these sources, and that and look at trying to stay positive. And so I used all these tools to come out of my own dark time, and this. Thank God for the internet, and that I embraced it, and I just saw an opportunity there to serve people and do good in the world and be compensated for that value, from enough people that are willing to buy things from me to pay the bills. And so that's my story about that time. So
Thank you so much.
you
I love that you said that, you were doing affirmations back then
hmm
in the late 90s. I feel like a lot of people think that this is a new idea,
Oh no.
and it's been around for a long time, and it's been around for a long time because it is so helpful.
Yeah, it was called. In fact, Emile Coué was like a French pharmacist, I think, in the late 1800s, and he's the guy who coined the phrase. He had his patients say this 20 times in the morning and 20 times at night. Every day and every way, I'm getting better and better. You probably heard that affirmation, but that's from the late 1800s.
Wow.
And they used to call it auto suggestion before it was called affirmations. But even in the Bible, they talk about the power of your word. Speak
Mhm.
it. And so it's been around a long time. All right, I'm just taking. I didn't know how long this segment was going to take, but I'm fine. I don't have to be anywhere. But I might have you. I have a question. I mean, I don't have to run off and perform at the church like I sometimes do. I have one more fun question for you, and then we're going to play something related to that, and we'll say goodbye to you here soon. But you often, in the comments, type in dance time. That's like your signature thing that you put in there. So, what is the
Mhm.
origin? What is that? What is the deal with dance time, and what is the origin of it?
So, good question. I love to dance. I love to dance so much. I I hear music, I dance. I don't hear music, and I dance. Um, my mom put me into jazz classes when I was about 5 years old. Um, and I didn't continue on with the lessons. And that's been kind of a life passion of mine. I really feel like if I had to have, embraced it back instead of just doing it in my bedroom,
Mhm.
that could have been something that I did professionally. I used to make up dance routines and perform them to my parents and their friends to songs while they were having guests over. And I took dance lessons again as an adult. And I just really, really, really love to dance. It makes me feel good. It makes my body feel good. It's good for your cardio. It's good for just clearing your mind. I love it so much. And so any opportunity that I can take to dance, even standing in line at the grocery store or wherever
Mhm.
in my shower. I
Yeah.
just love to dance. And so every time you play music, I'm like, dance time.
Yeah.
And I literally do get up and
Yeah,
dance
you're
every
literally got up and bouncing around your house, right?
Mhm.
That is so awesome. And then I asked you, I said, if you had a request for dance time for this particular Sunday, I asked you, and I was actually I wasn't expecting this song, but what was the song that you wanted to hear?
Shining Star.
Shining Star, and that is on our that's on our opening up to the good CD. I'm gonna play that recorded version here as soon as we say goodbye to you. And that was a song that I actually wrote. I had my daughter in mind. It's like for most of the lyrics, Pookie kind of got weaved into a couple of them. There's actually a line about dancing or moving in there that I was thinking of Pookie when I wrote that lyric. But this is about but from the perspective of someone having watched someone grow up or whatever and evolve, and this expressing their appreciation for that person. So let this be the voice of someone who speaks to you, and in this. So, Deann, it's been a pleasure. This is great. Thank you for being our second mystery guest.
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
having me. And thank you for all the awesome comments in the chat. I love you guys.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at some of those because I haven't been able to look at them. So I'm gonna say goodbye to you. I'm gonna hang up and then I'm gonna play that song. So I know you're gonna get up and dance while it's playing, right?
Yes, I
All right. Thanks a lot,
am.
Deann. Love you, and
Love you too.
to talk to you soon. Let's all say goodbye to Deann. Bye. All right. Let's see here. Let me get rid of my interview mode here. Oops. There we go. And here I'm going to play Deann's favorite song, or her requested song. It's called "Shining Star." And leave any comments there that you want. I'll go through and maybe highlight some of the comments there. But any takeaways or insights if you got from anything that we've discussed here, I'll highlight them during the song. I'm going to come back and we got some more stuff to do before we wrap things up. So here it is, "Shining Star."
Watch you get it wrong and get it right. I've seen you overjoyed, I've seen you filled with fright. I know when you're strong and when you are weak. I've seen you down and out, I've seen you at your peak. Well, after all these years, I just want to say I'm so proud of who you are. You've grown so much, you've come so far. I'm so filled with love for who you are. You are a shining star. I watch you laugh out loud, I watch you weep. I've seen you play the fool and be queen of the heap. I've seen you frown and I've seen you smile. I've seen you fall down, I've seen you dance with style. Well, after all these years, I just want to say I'm so proud of who you are. You've grown so much, you've come so far. I'm so filled with love for who you are. You are a shining star. Well, after all these years, I just want to say I'm so proud of who you are. You've grown so much, you've come so far. I'm so filled with love for who you are. I'm so proud of who you are. You've grown so much, you've come so far. I'm so filled with love for who you are. You are a shining star. You are a shining star. You are a shining star. You are a shining star.
All right, there you go. That was a good choice. Thank you for that, Deann. Yeah, that's a fun song. I remember driving back from. I think Pookie and I attended this event, God, years ago at Unity Village, I think, which is right outside of Kansas City. It's like the Unity Church headquarters, and it was like a music. We met a lot of New Thought musicians there, and I was driving back, and I started having this like part of the chorus or whatever, or it was coming in my head. And at the time, I must not have had a cell phone or a voice memo on my cell phone. This was like 15 years ago or something. I remember I called. I actually still had voicemail, and I called my home phone number and left a recording of me singing some of the melodies and some of the lines because I didn't have any other way to capture it. And I know sometimes if you don't capture it, you can't. It's hard to remember later. But I remember that was the seed was planted of that song on a voice memo thing or a voicemail. So anyway, so that was fun. Thank you all for the kind words. So here now is oh yeah, and by the way, there's a link if you want to know about our existing music and that album. It's and links to Spotify and Apple Music and different places where you can find our current music. Go to bobbakerinspiration.com/music. Right now, I'm going to play. Let's go ahead and play the little theme thing here, even though it's a little bit of an odd version of it, but just because everybody loves hearing this. It's Bob's Comedy Corner. Should do be why. Bob's Comedy Corner. So earlier I played part 1 of what I'm referring to as like funny rejected video titles and affirmations. And so I'm going to play part 2 now, and this ramps up. You know, there was the part 1 was pretty good, but I'm like really cracking myself up on this one. I got to cue it up to the middle there, so give me a second to get it to the right spot. But I'm going to play part 2 of that right here, so give me a sec. Ourselves up here. So let's segue into our third little humorous segment. I've been sharing, poking a little fun at myself and the topic of this channel, just trying to inspire some laughter. So in addition to inspiring people and uplifting you and raising your vibration, I also like to laugh
You like to
myself.
joke around.
I like to make you laugh because I think we all take life too seriously. So if I can
good
add
for
a
your
little
organs.
So I'm a big fan of David Letterman and his top 10 lists. These are some really bad titles for affirmations. So again, I don't have like a lot of hard and fast rules, but some of the things that actually in the book I talk about that are sort of like things to avoid would be when you do affirmations about things that are out of control, and especially when you do them about other people. Yeah,
Don't go there.
Yeah, you can't really do affirmations about other people because you have no control over how they feel or what they do. So you always do affirmations from a perspective of how you're feeling about it, of what you can do, what you have control over. So to poke fun at that and hammer the point home, these are bad affirmations, but also they're too specific. Like sometimes people will ask me, "Can you do affirmations about me getting a job in the IT field in South Africa and work for a guy with a French accent or something like some crazy?" No, that's too much of a niche thing. So these are both out of your control and they're too specific. Here we go. Affirmations to get even with your neighbor Skip, who mows his lawn at 6:00 in the morning. Thank you. Thank you very much. Our studio audience loved that. Affirmations to stop your friend Janessa from ever inviting you to another karaoke night ever again. These are affirmations that did not make it onto my channel. Here's another one. Affirmations to make your brother-in-law Frank stop double dipping the chips at family get-togethers. Any Seinfeld fans? George Costanza?
These are control freak affirmations.
These are like really specific, so I chose not to do these titles. Here's another one. Affirmations to stop your cousin Ronaldo from wearing Speedos at the pool.
That was a visual.
I know, you have to get that out of your mind. And then finally,
please.
with this round, there's one more round to go. With this one, bad title: Affirmations to make Jenny realize you are the perfect high maintenance guy with commitment issues for her. I think I need a rim shot there.
Yeah, you need something.
Thank you very much. So earlier, I was talking about rejected titles or alternate versions of, so it's all focused on video titles. This last segment here are really bad or unusual specific affirmations. These are like the actual affirmation lines.
Okay, now don't say these to yourself.
Yeah, these are ones you should not say to yourself because they're not very effective, so I never actually use them. But some of you who are familiar with some of my videos might get a kick out of how I reworded these. Really bad or unusual affirmations that you should not say to yourself. Here we go. The dysfunction I seek is also seeking me. That's one you should not do. No. Please do not do it. Here's another one. I am open and ready to take a nap. Actually, that's not a bad one. All right. Really bad or unusual affirmations you should not say. We're going to continue with this list. I am in tune with the abundant nature of pocket lint. I mean, it just seems to multiply. It's just like, but it's not a very good example. Okay, so here's a twist on an Abraham Hicks saying. It's not very empowering. It's like every now and then, a couple of things here and there sometimes work out for me. The original one is everything is always working out for me, but that's a little watered down version of it. I have 3 more here. I'm leading up to some of my favorites. Okay. This is for specific groups of people. For vegans, I welcome soy into my life. So we have a song called "I Welcome Joy into My Life," and there's a couple of videos where I use that affirmation. And so along those lines, for fans of, I'm crying here. I'm really having a good time. For fans of '80s music, along those lines, I welcome Boy George into my life. I kept on saying that's not funny, just take it out, but no, I had to leave it in. And finally,
because he had to say it.
And finally, this is the one that I literally laughed. I think I woke Pookie up last night laughing out loud when I thought about this one. This final one is for cheese lovers. Did I mention who it's for?
Yes.
Cheese lovers. Here it is. Today, I look for and appreciate the Gouda. Thank you very much. Again, I hope I brought a little laughter to your life here.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. So, I welcome soy into my life. I hope you enjoyed those. Yeah, I don't know. I was really on a roll by the end there. So I hope, if nothing else, maybe my laughing at myself made them funnier than they really were. So, we're almost out of here. For those of you who are not, many of you are already on my Abundant Life newsletter list. I really want to stay in touch with you outside of and in addition to YouTube. And I kind of briefly mentioned that text list that I had to put to rest. I wasn't able to continue doing that. So the best way to stay in touch is through email and to get on my Abundant Life newsletter that I publish through Substack. And so, where is that? You get some free gifts. If you're not on it already, just go to bobbakerinspiration.com. That's my website for all of this stuff, bobbakerinspiration.com. Here are some of the free gifts that you get. You get that right there in the middle is the logo for the Abundant Life newsletter. You also get a copy of How to Turbocharge Your Life, ebook that Pookie and I wrote a couple years ago about 5 steps to unleashing purpose, passion, and play in your life. And then over there is a new thing that if you don't have it, I'm really excited about that, the Impact Formula 6 Steps. Here, let me show you a different image of that one. It's not a physical book, but I did a little mock-up there. 6 steps to grow an audience, make an impact, and leave a legacy. So if you were here when I talked about Godzilla and space aliens, how that led me to creating things that I could share that positively impact people's lives. I've grown an audience over the years, and I like to think I'm leaving a legacy. And I want to, and more this year, I'm going to be creating resources, courses, experiences for me to share my knowledge of how I've done that and encourage you to not play small and not to hide in the shadows and to share your gifts with the world so that you can positively impact people as well. And so yeah, you can get at that all at you can go to /free, which will take you right to the sign up page. You can also just go to the homepage and you'll find a way to get to it as well. But yeah, bobbakerinspiration.com. Go and check that out. Keone didn't laugh at all. What's up? I know he just doesn't have a good sense of humor. Comedy Corner, Bob's Canine Comedy Corner. All right, I guess next week I'm gonna have to do jokes about dogs. I don't know. Have I ever done that? You might have sparked an idea there, Shireen. All right. So I think that's all. I'm going to play a song. We're going to do some final affirmations, and we should wind up right at 90 minutes here. And so a lot of things that I've talked about and other stuff too is in the description of this. You're watching it on YouTube. Go and expand the description below this. You'll find a bunch of links to things, to music, to different offerings that I have, including the 21-day abundance and money attraction brain boost. That's a mouthful, but that's been a really successful program that a lot of people have benefited from. But links to that and other stuff in the description. I'm going to pick up my guitar right now, and then we're going to do some affirmations, and I'll let you get on with your Sunday after that. All right. What was it? Okay, there we go. Just want to make sure I was still in tune. This is a song called Love Affair. It's a relatively new original, I think from the past year or so. But this has a good message to it, too. And so, yeah, it's all about, well, you'll hear it. I'll just play it. Instead of talking about it, let's play the darn thing, Bob. I really should know better. I should know wrong from right. Sometimes I eat too much, my pants are too tight. Don't like to get up early, just want to stay in bed. What will people think? These are the things I dread all of the time. Now I think it's time for a love affair with myself. Love affair with myself. Love affair with myself. A love affair with myself. A love affair with myself. You probably feel the same way and doubt yourself like me. You try to smile, but you just feel crappy. You worry all the time, it's gotten out of hand. It's like you missed the bus, got kicked out of the band. Time to unwind. And I think it's time for a love affair with yourself. A love affair with yourself. A love affair with yourself. Love affair with yourself. A love affair with yourself. Why do we do this? Can't we just love ourselves? Why do we do this? Can't we just love ourselves? Let's stop being mean to ourselves like that. It's time to lighten up and be the cool cat. Let's stop getting down. It's time to level up. We're not falling short. Let's crawl out of this rut. It's time to climb. Now I think it's time for a love affair with myself. Ourselves. A love affair with 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 ourselves. There you go. I think that's a song with an important message. A lot of words in that song. If you notice, I got to squeeze them all in, but I didn't want to take any of them out. All right. Hang on a second. All right. We are going to do some final affirmations here and then say goodbye. But I hope you enjoy this. I want to thank Deeann for being my second mystery guest today. That was I hope you found that to be an interesting conversation on both sides. Some great questions there and shared some things I've never rarely shared in that depth. And so if you're catching this live stream a little bit later, go back. The same page becomes the replay. You like my hand gestures there? This becomes the replay page. You can come back at any time and watch it from the beginning because we covered a lot of fun stuff. And so let's see here. Thank you, Jacqueline. I appreciate that. So true. I'm so grateful for being here and sharing this time. It means so much. And love yourself. Love affair with life. Love it. Great idea. I'm going to have a love affair with myself. I'm cool. Yes, you are. You are cool. I'm cool. And let's be cool together. All right. I got one more set of affirmations here. They're a little different than what I did at the beginning. And this is based on a theme of I've got what it takes. So a lot of times we think that there's something missing, you know, that there's something I got to fix or replace. And so this is a series of affirmations reminding you that you have everything that you need right now. Ready? Here we go. I'm going to just say, I'll tell you what, on this one, just say them with me instead of leaving space. You're going to be able to see them on the screen. So just say them along with me, and I won't leave that much of a pause. Maybe just a couple seconds for you to let them sink in, and I'll move on to the next one. Ready? Here we go. I have what it takes to pursue my dreams. I have what it takes to achieve my goals. I have what it takes to overcome any obstacle. I have what it takes to be successful. I have what it takes to step outside my comfort zone. I have what it takes to shape my future. I have what it takes. You are lacking nothing. All the power, all the wisdom is within you right now. Sure, you can engage other people. It's always learn things, but don't feel that you're lacking or somehow insufficient, because you are powerful beyond measure. And I want to remind you with that. And so remind you of that. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you all. Thanks again to yes, there's Deeann again. So happy to have been your guest today, Bob. Let me know when you need a co-pilot. I'll be there. You can ride shotgun. Also want to thank Lisa Shepard for all that she does every week here and throughout the week. I'm communicating with Lisa daily, and she's like she interacts with she's probably the person that's interacting with comments, and she's in touch with the flow of communication more than anyone else on the planet. And so I so appreciate Lisa being here, and all of you for being here. Thank you so much, and have an awesome rest of your day. Look for those videos. There's a money one going up on the channel here tomorrow. That's really good. It's actually influenced by a couple of books that I hadn't read in a long time. But there's Cash in a Flash, and then another one, The 1 Minute Millionaire. Is it? The 1 Minute something by Mark Victor Hansen and Robert Allen. There's a couple of books I read years ago, and the principles in there inspired the affirmations that I'm going to post tomorrow morning. And then look for that gratitude song, the lyric video version of it, coming up on Thursday. So really looking forward to feedback on that. So have a wonderful time. Love you all. And we'll talk again soon. This is Bob Baker saying so long for now.